Shiv Mahadev Kailash Bam 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 Bolo. See, as I grew up I always felt distant. I never felt like I really belonged.
Nithyanandam and Namaste. With gratitude to Yogathon and also the Hindu Council of New Zealand for allowing us to have this venue to share with you a beautiful, beautiful meditation cognized by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam. And it gives me great pleasure to bring with me blessings from His Holiness to each and every one of us in New Zealand. So let us begin. This is a meditation that everyone should incorporate in the daily practice. And if you don't have a practice and you're looking for a practice, a meditation that'll do everything, and I mean everything, it'll quiet your mind, it'll clean toxins out of your system, balance all your chakras, create enormous kinetic energy, energize the heart chakra, and leave you with an extreme overflowing sense of bliss. You'll just overflow into everyone who comes into your breathing space. 5 parts, and Bhagavan cognized this meditation for his disciples because we were asking him, please, Swamiji, could you give us a meditation that we could do every day that will do everything for us? And this is what he gave us. This was one of his many gifts to humanity. 5 parts, 7 minutes for each part. And I'll describe each part, how to do each part. It's a guided meditation, but we will focus on the second part, which is the Maha Mantra meditation. So instead of doing 7 minutes of a humming, that's the Maha Mantra, and it's for the Anahata. Instead of 7 minutes, we will do 21 minutes. So we will do 21 minutes of humming, create a lot of biokinetic energy in the heart. We'll expand the heart. You'll become the hum. Your thoughts per second will come way, way down. You'll have a beautiful, peaceful, restful awareness. And after 21 minutes of humming, the next 10 minutes you will just sit in an open, relaxed mood, focusing on your heart and feeling the energy permeate every cell of your being, radiating every cell with bliss. Please understand the first 21 minutes of humming, which you will be doing intensely with your lips closed. This is the preparation for the meditation. The actual meditation is the last 10 minutes. That's the prasad. All right? Oh, there's so much to share. There are so many meditations, but this meditation I have taught to so many people, and they have come out of illnesses, depression, headaches, it improved their relationships. They've been able to manifest perfect relationships, harmonious relationships, everything that they desire, because it creates a beautiful empty space in which life itself can show up inside of. All right. Now, I just want to share with you, you all know probably, there are so many meditations out there. There are meditations, laughing meditations. There are walking meditations. There are ones that you could do lying down. There are ones specifically for musicians that love sound. There are ones, visualizations for artists. There are breathing techniques, and the list goes on and on and on. In the Shiva Sutras alone, there's over 100 meditation techniques. So you can try all these different techniques and experience them and see which one fits for you. But I'll tell you, this one meditation called Nithya Dhyan is for everyone. And it's for the mind of today that has so much going on. Here in New Zealand, a group of us, Sri KAILASA New Zealand, we have dedicated ourselves to sharing this Vedic science of meditation and yoga. It's a New Zealand Sangha, and not only do we share yoga and meditation, but also we're reviving the Hindu scriptures, Vedic scriptures. So today, when we look into this meditation, we'll be doing a part of it, not all of it, but you'll be able to continue these classes with us if you wish. So, you know, when we go to work and we take a shower and get ourselves ready, and the question is, we get our outer body ready, but what about our inner space? Everyone would benefit hugely by having a practice, a meditation practice that they can do in the morning. So a way of preparing yourself when you show up at work, not only are you clean and dressed beautifully, but innerly, you don't have the day before's happenings, what happened yesterday or last week or last night, in your inner space, and living the moment, each moment, with that past in your inner space. You can see how that happens to so many people, but not only do they carry it from last night, some carry it from 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3, and it just like pouring water into a pot. You keep pouring, and it just accumulates in your inner space. And then when someone asks for something or says something, you just react. And because you don't have that empty, peaceful, blissful space. Well, that's what this meditation is going to do. It's going to create a beautiful empty space. It's 5 parts. Each part is 7 minutes long. So it's a 40-minute meditation for each day. And it starts with the breathing technique. 7 minutes of breathing technique. It's called chaotic breathing. It's so beautiful and most meditations do enter with the breathing technique, because when we move our body, if I'm moving my hand, moving my body, it's voluntary. I can move and do whatever I wish. That's voluntary. Involuntary would be, for example, the liver's cleansing itself while I'm speaking to you. My heart is beating, my blood is pumping. I can't control that. So you have your voluntary actions, which you can control, lift your hand, and your involuntary, which are all the machinations that are happening inside your body. But there is one part of us that is both voluntary and involuntary, and that is the breath. I say voluntary and involuntary because if I hold my breath, I can hold my breath, but eventually a breath will happen. It will happen because the body does want to live. It wants to live. So the mere fact that we're breathing is confirmation and affirmation that we do want to live this beautiful existence. So this is the way to go into meditation, starting with the breath, because it is both involuntary and voluntary. And the breath has a pattern, a very specific pattern. Every person has their own breath pattern, like you have a thumbprint. Your breathing pattern is unique to you. And the breathing pattern is combined with your mind, with your thoughts, with your emotions. They're inextricably combined. So, for example, Kalaadevi has a very specific breathing pattern based on her emotions, what she's feeling right now, her health, what I've eaten the day before. Everything is part of this breathing pattern that's unique to me. And so, and we all know that the breath will change depending upon how you feel or what you're thinking. For example, if I'm angry, my breath would be different. If I'm depressed or sad, it would be different. If I'm sick, it's different. When people are in fear, the breathing is rapid. So our emotions affect our breath. That's understandable. So because they're affected, does that mean that if we change the breath, we can change the emotions? That if we work with the breath and the pattern of the breath, it could affect our state of being and perhaps even heal us? Yes. Yes. The breath, and this is known in kriyas. There are kriyas, and we know of 1,008 kriyas, and there are 108 on the website. And later I'll give you the information too. For 108 disorders, you can do a breathing technique that will take you out of diabetes, a breathing technique that will take you out of cancer, cure you from cancer. Sweaty palms, sore back, migraine headaches, skin disease, 108 illnesses that can be cured. And when I say this, I'm saying this is time-tested, foolproof. There are many people who have done these kriyas that have come out of diabetes. In fact, one kriya just yesterday, a friend's brother-in-law who was doing the kriya for hypertension, heart disease, he went to the doctor after doing the kriya for 1 month. He went to the doctor and he's off all of his medication. This was just yesterday, I was told. So the breath is very, very powerful. And if there was a yogi or rishi here right now, a great yogi, he could just by hearing and feeling the sound of my breath tell me not only the state that I'm in currently, but also any illnesses I've had in the past or that I will have. If there's an illness that is starting to happen, he would be able to tell. So working with the breath is essential for mind, body, well-being, psychological well-being. And that's the first part, because Swamiji, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan, who cognized this meditation for us, because we asked him one that does everything for us, we need it. In Samadhi, all the pieces came together. And as I describe it, you'll see, when you understand the benefit of each piece, you'll just go very, very deep into the meditation. So the first part has to do with breath. It's chaotic breathing. And the reason why it's chaotic, we have to do chaotic, is because I just said the breath is linked to your mind. So if you do a chaotic rhythm, and chaotic rhythm would be your hands go on your hips and you're going to breathe intensely with your lips closed. You have to keep your lips closed or else you could possibly hyperventilate. By the way, please, if any of you have any heart or health issues, any conditions, please follow your doctor's advice. You can just sit and listen. And if you visualize, you will get the effects when we come to the meditation. So chaotic breathing would be constantly changing the rhythm. So it's slow, fast, all different kinds. And so what happens is your rhythm of your breath is changing. Your mind is saying, wait a minute, that's not my pattern, wait. And you keep forcing this chaotic pattern. What happens is there's a fight and the mind gives up and says, okay, you win. And the mind drops. The mind just drops. Also, when you do chaotic breathing, because it's very intense, it's like breath of fire in terms of you're just forcing very intensely and you're moving your body. Any violence inside is just blown away. It just leaves the whole system. It just leaves the muscles. We do have violence or resentment or even sadness. Depression is a violence we're holding inside toward us. All of that just gets lost, gets melted away, just gets blown up, disintegrated in the 7 minutes of chaotic breathing. It's really beautiful. This is This is like taking a shower on the inside. It's a complete psychological cleansing. Oh, you were mad at your boss yesterday, or, the delivery didn't happen on time and now you're put out, you have to stay home another day for it, whatever it is. Or even all of the violence that we're seeing around us and in other countries, and that violence, when we see it, because we feel responsible, we need to know what's going on, that violence goes in. So we just don't want it to stay in. We don't want it to become heavy. We want to be responsible and pick up the responsibility, but we don't want it to affect us in a negative way. So this chaotic breathing does the job. Just absolutely does the job. That's 7 minutes. This is a guided meditations, right? So you don't have to remember all this, you'll be guided. The next part, after you just drop the mind and empty out, is humming, intense humming. And humming is from Tibetan Buddhism. It's very, very powerful, because some people say, I still have thoughts, I still can't stop. Well, when you start to hum, the humming, we are energy, and you become that energy. It's I had one person say to me, oh, but I won't be able to hum for 7 minutes. Like, no, you start humming, then you stop thinking about it and you just become the hum. The humming also will bring down the thoughts per second. It's also a beautiful barometer to see how your body is and how your emotional state is. For example, I remember Swamiji said, if you ate something the day before that doesn't agree with you, or perhaps you ate too much, when you hum, the hum will not be steady and mellifluous. It won't. It'll be a little staccato, or you'll be coughing. It's so beautiful. It's like taking your temperature to see what your state is, what your physical state is, and what your emotional state is in the beginning. And that could happen. It starts to crack. And then you'll know, oh, well, maybe, yeah, that food didn't sit right in my stomach, or I did overeat, and that's why. So it's such it becomes your best friend, it's your best friend to keep you on the right track. When we do the humming, we sit in Vajrasana. That is, you're going to sit on your heels. And the reason why we sit on our heels is because normally energy goes through the crown chakra and down. But when we sit on our heels, the energy moves in the opposite direction. It moves from the Muladhara chakra, the base chakra, all the way up to the Sahasrara chakra, the crown chakra. So the energy, and most 80% of our energy is locked in the first chakra. So that energy will start to move up in the Vajrasana asana. So I'm just going to show you the Vajrasana as long as I'm speaking about it. Let's see if we can do this in an elegant way. So I'll turn this down. Okay, yeah, so Vajrasana. Okay. There you go. My heels, sitting on the heels. For some of you, if this is too difficult, you could put a pillow or two, depending. You sit on your heels. This asana also is the asana for digestion. Your hands will be in Chin Mudra, which means your index finger will be touching your thumb, and you will rest them on your knees. Back is straight, head, neck, and spine is straight. This is the position for the humming. Remember this position because this we're going to go into the humming in great depth. So this, by the way, this mudra, when used during the humming, makes a beautiful circuit, and it keeps the energy. You'll be creating kinetic energy. The humming will start to create bioenergy in the heart. And this energy will permeate your whole body. We keep our hands in chin mudra to complete the circuit so you maintain all that energy. Very, very beautiful. Very, very beautiful meditation. I'm going to quickly go through the rest of the parts, and then we'll go into the meditation. There'll be more in-depth meditations and theory in future Zoom sessions, I hope, with all of you. So after the humming, and both are quite dynamic, the first chaotic and the humming, then we come to the chakras. And here is when we focus 1 minute on each chakra. There are 7 chakras. And when we focus on the chakras, what happens is they energize and become full of energy, full of bliss. Now, in Vedic science, perfect health happens with full, clear, fully energized chakras. We have 7 major chakras, and each one is associated with an organ and an endocrine and an emotion. When you energize your chakras, you radiate perfect physical health, mental health, psychological health. A chakra, if it's blocked, can be the size of a raisin, and they extend outward from the body. Killian photography can photograph them. They're energy centers, vortexes that extend outside the body. If they're blocked and unhealthy, they can be as small as a raisin. If they are allowed to have full energy flowing through them, they could become as big as a car wheel. That's how big a chakra can be. If your chakras are fully energized, well, you will be flying. You will not have illness. And I could say, if, your immune system would be so strong. This, I feel, is one of the best antidotes to any virus. Yes, we need to do all the things that we did and be responsible and, social distance, etc. But let us not forget, if we build our immune system so strong, like so many people have, and others did not. But many people have, because many people recovered. And you see, some people didn't get it so bad. So how to build that immune system? This is the way, with building the chakras. And in this part of the meditation, you're guided through each chakra, and you just visualize, put your awareness on the chakra, the 7 chakras, 1 minute each. And when that happens, the chakra expands, becomes full, and radiates bliss. So there are 7 chakras, and later we'll go in more depth at a future Zoom session on the chakras. And then following the next step, so now you see what we have. We have the chaotic breathing, which gets rid of all the thoughts, the worry, the fear, the violence, anything that's inside of us. Then we have the humming, which quiets the mind and opens the heart and energizes the body with this energy that we're creating. We're creating that energy for ourselves. We're not getting it from food. We're not getting it from attention need. We're creating it unto ourselves. Then the third part is every single chakra is energized. radiating bliss, overflowing in bliss. Now we're so balanced, we're so harmonious and peaceful. The next part is called unclutching. Unclutching is our natural state. We were born as unclutched babies. And we were unclutched. I mean, just think about it. It's like, oh, everything is beautiful. Everything is nice. Okay, you want to eat, you might cry, but then you eat and you're not crying anymore. You're not crying about yesterday, not having your favorite food or your ice cream from yesterday. No, we were born blissful babies. And we were born, and our true nature is unclutched. Unclutching is a technique that I find I use constantly all day long. I'm in a constant state of unclutching. And so what that means is you're totally open and receiving life and responding to life and welcoming every happening as perfection, because it is, because every single event, everything in life we grow from, we learn from. But unclutching is such a powerful technique. And I would just like to go into this just a little bit. I've taught this technique to many, many people. You see, we have been trained that when we have a problem, a challenge of some kind, we need to think about it. We need to chew on it. We need to call up our friend and tell them about it. Our mother, we reach out to people and we talk about, and they'll give us feedback, and then we get more feedback, and then everyone's giving us different feedback based on their experiences, and now it's getting bigger and bigger, and you have to go to work with this problem. And when you have a challenge, when life presents a challenge or a so-called problem that needs to be solved, it doesn't take thinking. And never, ever, ever do I call a friend. I mean, maybe a Sangha member. I always go for someone of the highest consciousness. But even then, it's not necessary, honest, because all I need to do is unclutch. When you unclutch, and that means become neutral. If you think of a car, you clutch to go in first or second gear, and you declutch, which is mean you don't even get involved. I'm not talking about that. That in itself, not being involved, is also a form of violence. I'm talking about going neutral. Going neutral is unclutched. When you unclutch from a situation, what happens is existence, the benevolent cosmos, Paramashiva, whatever you want to call it, gives you the prasad, gives you the nectar of what you need to gain from that experience. It just comes in and gets incorporated into your bio muscle memory. It's hard to fathom. Like, what do you mean? It's how it works. This is the cosmic logic, not the binary logic. I'm not talking about how we've done these. This is, and it's a science. And when you unclutch, so much energy also comes into the body because it's our natural state. It's like we're in sync with the cosmos. Because if we look at bubbles in a fish tank, if you look at it from a distance, it looks like one stream, right? But if you go closer and really examine, each part of that stream is an individual bubble. And that's exactly what our thoughts are. They're disconnected. They're individual, disconnected, unrelated. If you were to sit right now and just write stream of consciousness for 10 minutes, your thoughts would go all over, from what you want to eat for lunch, that your feet are cold, that you're thirsty and would like a drink, or whatever, or thinking about anything. Our thoughts are independent. Incidents in life are independent. But what we do is we connect them. We're great storytellers. We will connect them and we will build a shaft or a storyline. I'm in the film business, I can tell you. We got to be careful of building those internal stories. So what we do, if something gives us pain and suffering, or something gives us pleasure, if something gives us pain or suffering, and we start to see, oh, that relationship was painful, this relationship is painful, this relationship was painful, or I had a fight with my husband then, I have a fight with my husband 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year, yesterday. I don't think we can make it. It's too painful and it's just going to continue. So we want to break the shaft of pain. So maybe we would tell ourselves, no, that this isn't going to work. I'm going to end this to end my suffering. Or we build a shaft of pleasure. Let's say I had ice cream 10 years ago. I love vanilla ice cream. 8 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 months ago, I love vanilla ice cream. Yesterday, I love vanilla ice cream. Okay, so vanilla ice cream gives me pleasure. Now I have an expectation. When I have ice cream next week, it's going to give me pleasure. And what if it doesn't? Then what? Then I'm suffering. Understand, we are continuously building shafts of pain and pleasure. I met this woman and she said, I'm accident prone. I said, what? Yeah, because 5 years ago, I broke my ankle skiing, and then I broke my finger, and then I broke my wrist. And then 2 years ago, I broke my vertebrae in my back, and my mother said, I'm accident prone. No, you are not accident prone. No, every single incident was independent. They have nothing to do with each other. Actually, this is you understand, this is the greatest gift you can give someone in any relationship that you have. When you see them again, whether it's you wake up in the morning and you see them again, they are a new person, and so are you. They are not the person that you were talking to before you went to bed last night. No, there's no connection. They're new. And when you can hold someone in that space of always being anew, always becoming, it's the greatest gift you can give someone. And when you hold them in that space of transformation and becoming fresh and new, you too will be transformed. So we build this shaft, the mind builds it, either a shaft, we build a shaft of pleasure, or we want to break the shaft of pain and suffering. But the reality is the shaft does not exist. It is all in the mind. It doesn't exist. So the technique of unclutching is constantly bringing us back to that original state, our natural, blissful, unclutched state. When you unclutch, you have less stress, less health problems, better sleep. You need to sleep less. So many beautiful side effects happen from unclutching. There's one that I want to share with you that is the ultimate. And it's been my experience over and over again. Every time I unclutch, existence, the cosmos, brings it right to my lap. And this is, I'll give you an example. And also this is the experience of other people. And I'll share one experience with a director who I taught the unclutched technique to. Oh yeah, so for myself, this is very simple and it has to do with ice cream. It's a particular kind of ice cream called Tasty Light. It's my favorite ice cream. You can only get it in New York and in Brooklyn. I live in New Zealand. And whenever I'm on the plane going to New York, I'll think it's the only one I can eat. It doesn't have eggs, non-dairy. I'll think of Tasty Light. That's how much I love this ice cream. And when I had a job in New York, I would arrange, I knew where all three shops were in Manhattan, and I would arrange to drive by them. I knew what time they closed, I knew what street they were on, and I would get one. So that was my shaft, if you will, of Tasty Light ice cream. It was a Saturday, and I was to give a yoga class for a woman who lived in an area over the Williamsburg Bridge that I had never been to before, and it's quite an industrial area. So I had my GPS on, and I'm coming from Brooklyn, and as I'm driving, I'm about to pass the exit, and I know if I get off this exit in Brooklyn on 7th Avenue, I drive 19 blocks, I can get a Tasty Light, come back, and as I'm approaching the exit, I'm holding the steering wheel, and I could feel I'm grabbing the steering wheel, and I'm also starting to salivate, but I'm trying to figure out in my mind if I have enough time. Can't be late. Can't be late. That's out of integrity. So do I have enough time to go get a Tasty Light and get back in the car and drive and be there on time? And I'm salivating and I'm trying to figure it out. And then I remember, oh no, Kalaadevi, unclutch. Perfect. It's a technique you can play with all day long. Unclutch. I thought, yes, I'll unclutch. So I unclutch and literally my hands relax. The saliva goes back into my system and I'm driving and I'm going over the Williamsburg Bridge, and she lives, and the GPS takes me right in front of her place, which is this big industrial building that they changed into lofts. And I'm there and I see I have 8 minutes. And I thought, I don't know this area and I'm very bad at directions. I'm just going to make a square. I'm just going to go to the corner, come around so I don't get lost. And since I have, just to see what this neighborhood is like. In an industrial area, I go to the corner, I drive, and as I turn, I see a rainbow, neon rainbow. And I look and it says Tasty Light. And I pull up and my whole body, I get this rush of this energy coming through my feet. I go in, I get a vanilla Tasty Light, I sit in the car, and it's like I knew what happened. The cosmos just rewards you for being in your natural state. It just rewarded me. I ate the Tasty Light and I went to and I taught her yoga class in her studio on time. Okay. Another quick story. Very famous director, which I won't mention his name. Period film, huge, huge. Lots and lots of extras. I say 300 extras, 1800s. They have sideburns. I'm a makeup designer. Sideburns, all kinds of, and it's hot. We're in New Orleans, really, really hot. And so we have this big showboat prop that they built on land. They have all the extras there. The director is all the way up there with his videos and camera, and I am all the way on the other side with my makeup team, and we're sitting watching the other monitors. And then, but I just want to say, the previous weekend I taught the director the unclutching technique. Okay, all of a sudden I hear on the walkie, Kalaadevi, the director wants you. Now, when the director wants you and it's hot and they're in the middle of shooting and you're over there and he knows you're over there and you're either someone's mustache fell off or sideburns fell off or something happened. And so I get my glues and I start to climb and make my way up. And when I see him, he's in a tall director's chair. He said, Kalaadevi, sit in my chair. I said, okay. So I sit in his chair and he said, I did it. I did it. It was blank amazing. I unclutched and I got the shot. Now, we had been waiting a long time. I didn't know what was going on. but he couldn't get the shot he wanted. It was a huge crane, and they were lifting it and turning it and doing all kinds of things. And there was a holdup, but we didn't know what the holdup was. He said they tried and tried and tried to get the shot. And he just said, I'm unclutching. He was going to move on. And what happened was the arm of the crane just relaxed, and the camera just tilted and it relaxed. And he looked at the monitor, because the monitor shows what the camera's seeing. He looked at the monitor and he said, that's it, that's it. Cosmos. This is the power of unclutching. When anyone talks to me about something that they're going through and I listen intently, I may say 1 or 2 sentences. Always I say, now unclutch. You will get the prasad, whatever it is. The awareness, the consciousness, the actual thing itself, or all three, you will get it. This is the cosmic logic. This is the logic. This is the technique we need to, is the best technique to use every day. Unclutching. And finally, the last technique, the last part is the Guru mantras. And these are just mantras of gratitude. So you finish your meditation just being grateful, not just for the ring on your finger, but for the finger itself, just for the mere existence, the gratitude to existence, the gratitude to our teachers, to life itself. All right, those are the 5 parts. 7 minutes each, that's 35 minutes. That's the meditation. But today we're going to go in depth to the humming meditation, because the humming meditation is going to open our hearts, make us very, very receptive, quiet the mind, and leave us in a very blissful, loving state. And I think that that's the state we need to all be in 24/7. Okay, it's 10:15, so let's just get right into the Mahamantra meditation. At the end of the meditation, I'll have a slide, and on the slide, there'll be some email addresses if you want to contact us, a tinyurl.com/New Zealand programs. If you sign into that and leave your email, we will tell you about the next Zoom session next Thursday evening and all the programs that we have. We'd love for you to be part of our programs. Okay, so we're going to do the Mahamantra, the humming meditation. And this humming meditation is for 21 minutes. The 21 minutes you're going to hum as intensely as you can, as lengthily as you can, and with little space in between. Don't worry, eventually you'll just become the hum and you'll have a rhythm. Your eyes should remain closed throughout the whole meditation. If you open your eyes, the energy will leave through your eyes. Your eyes shall also please remain still, because like stones, because when you move your eyes, you make pictures. So visualize there's stones on your eyes. You could take your tongue and touch the roof of your mouth. That helps to keep your eyes still if you wish to. Eye bands are good, they help. You're going to sit in Vajrasana, which I showed you before, hands in chin mudra, back straight, and you're going to hum intensely for 21 minutes. The 21 minutes will go by faster than you think, so no worries. Don't open your eyes, okay? And hum from the navel center, because that's where the thoughts start, between it's the hara, between the Manipurika and the Muladhara chakra. The thinking happens here. That's why Swamiji says when you have something really important to digest in life, a challenge or even a cognition that's very profound and you need to digest it, you keep the stomach empty. You don't eat solids so that the stomach is like an oven and it'll completely burn and digest what it is that you need to digest. Because thoughts have weight to them. They're matter. Thoughts are matter, just like food is matter. Keep the food out, have the thoughts in, let them burn and be digested so you get your solution. Okay. Back straight, neck straight, eyes closed, hands in Chit Mudra resting on your knees. All right. Let's get ready for the meditation. I'm going to unclutch.
You may start humming now. Take your awareness to the Anahata Chakra and relax into it with a blissful mood.
Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And you can slowly, very slowly, open your eyes. The first 21 minutes of the humming, that was the preparation for the final 10 minutes, which was the actual meditation, where all that energy that you created just completely spread throughout your body, filling it with bliss. So on behalf of Sri KAILASA New Zealand and Yogathon and the Hindu Council of New Zealand, we all wish to thank you. And we have a gift from His Holiness, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam, and the Sangha. And it is this beautiful book, Guaranteed Solutions. If you click on the tiny URL, we're going to send you a free ebook. And in this book, and this is a book that I give to everyone that I meet, because it is on, each chapter is a different chakra. It'll give you the understanding of what blocks the chakra, what thought currents and thought trends allow energy to flow through that chakra. This is actually a 2-day course that Swamiji gave time and time again in India. And this is a transcript, a direct transcript of that 2-day program. It's absolutely a treasure of a book. So we're happy to share this with you. And I'm going to project, I will project the screen with the tiny URL, but it is just so you have it, tinyurl.com/NZ programs. Or you can email us at nithyanandasangha@gmail.com. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this class. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much. Look forward to seeing you again on our next Zoom class. We'll end with the Puna mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sadhvam Shri Bhagavan Shri Nithyananda Paramashivam Padaka Panamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Nithyananda and Namaste. Stay here for the link. Please. I'm going to unclutch and unshare.
Shiv Mahadev Kailash Bam 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 Bolo. See, as I grew up I always felt distant. I never felt like I really belonged. Oh yeah. See, I always wondered if something was wrong with me. I always observed others from afar. Oh yeah. I remember well tagging along the crowd, feeling kind of awkward, I didn't know why. I remember vividly in my mind. Oh yeah. Yeah, the only child looking at the other side.